What's up guys, Chasing Lame here with episode number 27 of From Grove to Glory, and in today's episode we are taking on the might of the Portuguese Grand Prix, just like will be happening very shortly in real life in 2020 as coincidences would have it. Last time out, you can see here looking at the standings board, Alonso picked up 8 points at Russia, whereas George Russell scored 2, so not the best race we've had, but we're still in the championship fight. We've still got Alonso sitting 4th, Kubica is out of the car at the moment, but he is sitting 7th, and Russell is 17th. In the teams championship and the constructors, we are on 67 points in joint second with Mercedes. In terms of the goings on and the what's happenings and whatnot, the car is still developing. We're developing some brakes right now, but we're currently apparently 9th best on the grid, but also massive green bar for high speed cornering and below average on everything else. So that's logical. Right, so and we're doing some building. So that's everyone caught up with the stuff people always ask about. But we're going to get straight into the Grand Prix. I'm going to take, I think, the Mahindra sponsorship money today. Hey, how are we making losing 13,000 before bonuses? But if we include the bonuses, we'll lose 1.23. What? That doesn't make any sense. Okay. I think I found a glitch. Tyres wise, we're on high tyre wear, so I think I need 2 for each quali session. 654 might do it actually, that might be the one I'm looking for. Part fitting, I don't think I have any new parts to worry about fitting, but we'll have a wee check just to make sure, because I've not booted the game in a while. We are solid. We are solid for new parts as far as I can tell. I do need to get that new engine to be up to spec though, so we can throw it into a car, probably Alonso's car, to be honest, because he's definitely our best chance of a championship. But yeah, we'll make that happen. So let us go into race day. I will, as usual, skip practice and qualifying, and we'll come back for the race in. Oh, sorry, skip practice, come back for qualifying and the race. Yeah, that's how we usually do it. I don't know. Disregard. Back in a sec. So the race is upon us, and as you can see, we've ended up with we're kind of split strategies today. So we've got both cars through into into Q3, which is always a benefit. But George somehow set his best time on a set of scrub tyres, so I've had to split the strategy, which means George will be running a one-stop probably onto hards. Fernando will be running a one-stop onto mediums. I've put them on light fluid mediums just to make sure they go a little bit further. And George, we can push a little bit harder because we've got the engine expert on. So I've not run either of the race knowledge, any of the race knowledge boosts today because I didn't think it was quite the time. I can't show you any tyre life estimates really, because obviously the tyres being locked means that we can only see the tyres we've got on. So we're going to get about 9 laps before we have to get George onto a set of hards, which hopefully will go for 39 laps, and he's running at 4 laps down, or he should be running at 4 laps down on fuel, which usually recovers itself as we've seen before. And Fernando, we're hoping we can get for 12 laps apparently onto a set of mediums. Might have to be 2 sets of mediums, we'll see how that goes. We're going to run him 4 laps down as well, because that's always something we can recover. So let's get into the race. Let's see what kind of thing we can achieve today. This is the grid today. So Hamilton and Bottas on the front row, Vettel and Leclerc on the second. We have got Max and Graham Rahal on the third row, 5th and 6th. Then Alonso starts 7th. Danny Rick starts 8th. In 9th place, we've got George Russell, and in 10th place, we have got Rene Rast in the Red Bull, which is probably his best start so far, if memory serves. We then have Felipe Albuquerque in his best start so far in 11th, Sergei Sorokin in 12th. We get Pietro Fittipaldi in 13th, Lando Norris in 14th. In 15th today, Giovinazzi carrying an injury. Kimi Raikkonen starts 16th in the Alpha, so it's Alpha side by side on row 8. Row 9, Ocon in the Racing Point next to his teammate Sergio Perez, and in the back row, Danny Kvyat starts 19th next to his Toro Rosso teammate Alex Albon. So, let's get to those epic 5 red lights. Let's turn off the automatic boosts because we don't want them to use them before we tell them to. I don't know who to pay attention. I guess we should probably pay attention to George Russell for the start of the race, purely because he's coming in first, so we need to make sure we can get him timed in properly, because that will be for the best. Someone's gone wide there. I guess it was Charles Leclerc going wide. Which is not the start he was looking for certain, but it has given us a place which is definitely going to help us in the long run. Talking of the long run, Alonso doing okay, but it looks like he's about to get passed by George Russell, and this could be a long race for Alonso if he keeps losing places like that. Which I think we've seen him go backwards a few times before and then recover. I'm not sure how that's going to go for him at this time out, but we'll see just how things go here. I'm hoping we'll get a really good result today. Let's speed things up because things are not quite progressing at a rapid pace, and we need to make things progress at a rapid pace to keep this episode under an hour, which, as regular viewers of this series know, is easier said than done. Alonso, though, dropping back to 16th, really not doing well on the race pace. I'm going to wait till the battery gets itself up to the 100% charge, because that's the time to deploy it. Go back into regular speed so we can see when we get that 100%. We've got it there. Now let's drop it. Let's see if we can get ourselves back up the field. Few teams going into hybrid mode, so hopefully we can make up some places there. Sergei Sorokin could be the guy to watch for the win here, starting on the hard tyres. I think this is one of those tracks where the hards will actually go the full race distance. It's actually beneficial to start in about 11th or 12th and take a set of hards if you can, because they should go more or less to the end. I think they'll go fairly long, but we'll give that a good old push. Russell cutting through the field now up into 6th. Alonso coming back into 12th, 11th. That's a good start for us. It's a good start, and they've managed to burn off pretty much all their ERS. Now we'll let them recharge, and we'll see how we go with the rest of the race. I don't really want to fiddle with the tyre strategy more than I have to, but we are going to have to warm those tyres up a little bit. So let's go on to push on the tyres. Let's see if we can get some temp back in. I don't know what the temp's like on track. 50. It's very low. Very, very low on the tyre temps today. Apologies, I've got a bit of a froggy throat because I've done a lot of recording today. Trying to get myself ahead of the game a little bit. So, George Russell riding in 6th. We're not expecting any rain whatsoever today, which is definitely a benefit, because it can be unpredictable when you get the rain on this game. Very unpredictable, but we'll see how it goes. Let's switch back up into fast pace. See if those tyre temps come back up, get them back into the primary operating window. Alonso's fought his way back up to 8th. That's pretty strong. We're kind of Noah's arking with the McLarens at the moment, which is, it's not what we want to be, but we've got to keep this fight going in the championship as best we can. George having a good old fight with Lando, which is what we like to see. Let's keep an eye on the tyres, because that's going to be kind of key as well. Temps are slowly coming up, but they're not coming up rapidly, which I guess is partly down to the fact that the track is starting to warm up a little bit. There's also going to be some grip coming down, which will help. Some rubber will certainly help with the tyre life, will help with the speed as well. Although it looks like Albuquerque is pulling away from George Russell, and George is reporting worn tyres, and we know those tyres can only go so far. Actually, I need to drop them both back down to neutral, if I'm honest. I hope the tyres will maintain some temperature up until the stops, because we are having pushed a little bit on the tyres. We are going to have to bring both drivers in early. But you know, like I said, it's probably going to become a two-stop race with the temperatures being so low, with the tyres struggling to maintain temperature. Keep an eye on George, because George may have to come in this lap. Let's see what we're looking at with the hards. Will go 30. I mean, I suppose a mid-race hard stint for 28 laps takes us up to lap, oh, quick math, 35. Can we get 13 out of us? We can. Okay, we're gonna bring George in now while we can. Any parts need replacing? Nothing looking like it needs replacing. We'll go max with that. We'll go take a fast pit stop, and we're gonna push the ERS button with George, and just see what we can make happen with a good pit stop here. I suspect this might be a weird strategy, but then also, if everyone's tyres are going off as fast as we think they are, everyone's going to do a stop more than they plan. Some guys might even go 3-stop on this race. Let's give the big attack order as we come through the last few corners to George. Let's get the most out of these tyres we can. Keep pushing that ERS button just to make sure that we get the most out of these tyres that we can, and we'll drop down to neutral just while we get George into the box. See if we get a good stop here. We've had a mistake. We've had a mistake on the rear left. It's taken a while to fix. A 4.7 stop is definitely going to hurt the race for George on the long term. Let's give Alonso a big boost of ERS. See if we can get him up past Danny Ricciardo, because Danny Ricciardo has got past him as well, which is not the ideal. George is going to be well behind the order coming out of the pits, but also this ERS should last for the entire lap. So we'll see what happens there. Let's go back to Fernando whilst we catch up with everyone else. See how things look. I think I'm going to have to go on a push with George's tyres. We'll keep an eye on the temp, see how that temp drops. I suspect it will drop quite rapidly, but maybe a push will just hold the temp there. We'll see. We'll, like I said, we've got the option to go to mediums if we need to as well with George. I think with Fernando we're going to have to go with a double medium stint. I think that's just going to be the way it goes. He's going to have to come in some point in the next, I guess, lap or so. We'll give him the attack order once he comes past the pits, and we'll just see what we can do. I think set a medium. How far he'll take him? 28. I think 2 sets of mediums. 2 sets of mediums could be the order of the day here. Could be the order of the day. We'll go full battery charge as well with Fernando, and again we'll stick with the fast pit stop and hope we don't get a mistake this time. We'll go with the big ERS push for Fernando, see if that gives him the boost he needs. He's got a little bit closer to Danny Ricciardo. I'd expect to see some people coming in for stops fairly soon, but I don't know how soon. I really don't know how soon it's going to be. Have a quick look, see how this pit stop goes. It was a good stop, a 1.6. It's got to be among our quickest of the season. We're going to go with a push on the tyres though. See what that does. Track temp is up to 16, so we're still not quite there. But Fernando gets up the pits, and someone followed him in. Max Verstappen followed him in. Interesting stuff. George Russell's got himself ahead of Sergio Perez as well, which will definitely see things change in the order. Now we've got both our drivers alongside each other. Let's hope they don't take each other out. Very close racing, very close racing up ahead. Kimi Raikkonen being a bit of a sandwich for us, but we've made our way past him and things are looking okay. We can start to push on a bit now. Having made our first stop, the split strategy as well does sort of help a little, as long as we can hold some temperature in these tyres. George's are they're dropping temperature a little bit, but not super rapidly. Also, the hards will go down to, I think it's 10% or 0%, 5%, something like that. Whereas the mediums will go down to about 10. So hopefully we'll have to bring them in at the same time. I don't want to have to do a double stack. We shouldn't have to. George's may go off before Fernando's, but it's a risk we're going to have to take. We'll see how the last stint looks when we get there, but just keep on keeping on. George Russell is pulling away, so let's jump back to George, because he's effectively fourth on the road right now. Once people start coming in for stops, we'll get a sort of a much clearer picture. Graham Rahal in the box as well, so hopefully we can get past him. We haven't. Okay, so fifth on the road. That's okay. That's not too bad. We'll see what we can make happen. Let's give George the order to push. Let's give Fernando the order to push as well. See if we can get ourselves up past Ocon. We can get up past Ocon. That's a good start. Let's get ourselves chasing after Danny Ricks. We've got past a few people in the pits, up into P9. Looks like Leclerc made a stop, and I guess Albon. Did Albon have a problem on the stop? I can't see him on the time screen. He must have had a problem on that, an issue on that stop, because he just came in, and he wasn't far behind Leclerc as far as I remember. So you guys, of course, can rewind the video and tell me in the comments if I'm wrong on that, but I think he was next to Leclerc on track, so he must have had some kind of issue in the pits. But going okay so far. 8th is a pretty good, pretty solid place to be. 9th now. We're gonna have a long old fight with Danny Rick in this race. I can already feel the long fight with Danny Rick coming. We'll drop the big push though. We'll try and get ourselves away. Get ourselves on the back of Fittipaldi, who we are slowly catching up with. Again, tyre strategy here makes things very interesting, because Fittipaldi started on the hards, so did Sorokin. So they're going to go for a while. Lewis is on a long stint. I don't know if he's going to try and one-stop the race. He might well do. If he does, that makes things interesting for us as well. Kimi's probably going to go long behind Alonso as well, so that's another thing to watch out for. These tyres are holding up very, very well. They're holding up better than I thought they would, and we're making the best we can of this situation as Fittipaldi shows his intention to box. Let's try and pass him on track, because that would be nice. We're going to go into a battle with Danny Rick instead, because that's obviously what would happen. Only we could hit an ERS button and lose a place. Let's give Alonso an order to push as well, because I think he can get himself somewhere in striking distance of Charles Leclerc, and he's passed him. Let's drop down to Alonso, who's up into 7th now. Alonso going into a fight with Ocon, and now we are really starting to push on. Sorokin though, still going long with this first stint. Be very interesting to see where he shakes out once he makes his stop, because he could go on to a set of mediums to the end here. It's very possibly go on to a set of mediums to the end. Ocon's come in. Let's see where Ocon comes out tyres wise. Ocon's gone to a set of mediums. Okay, that's definitely useful information for us, for sure. And I think we're probably going to see Sorokin and Raikkonen do similar. Raikkonen could be trying to push for a set of softs at the end. It's not impossible. We got any sign of Sorokin coming? Sorokin's really going to try and take these tyres down to the absolute quick if he can. We'll see how it goes. Sorokin must be coming in this lap. Is he? He is. Sorokin's in this lap. Let's have a quick look. Let's see what happens with him and tyres. What's he going to choose? Sorokin's gone onto a set of softs from his hards. I don't think a set of softs is going to make it to the end, because there's still 23 laps to go. So I'm guessing he's going hard, soft, soft. But Raikkonen could be in a very interesting position here, because if he can get these tyres to the point where a set of mediums will carry him to the end, he could be in with a shot of a podium. It's not impossible. I say it's not impossible. I'm just looking at the gap between him and Bottas. It's about 30 seconds, so maybe 4th is the best he can hope for. And Bottas will have to make another stop, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be very, very tight. Let's give these guys both the big ERS push. See if we can get them up the road, get them towards Rahal, who we know we've had the pace to get past before now. We're not going to make it past Bottas. That's almost impossible. Bottas had a really good window there for a stop. That's worked out really well for him, actually. As a strategy, he's done very, very well. George doing okay as well. I just want to sort of keep an eye on things, see where we shake out. because you know this could go any which way but loose right now, and it's definitely coming up to window time. Leclerc, I think, is starting to catch George Russell. Keep an eye on that. He is starting to catch George Russell, but he's also going to have to make another stop, so it's not going to be the biggest drama. We've just got to keep these guys out, keep them going. I think Alonso, we can go back to another set of softs as well, which is going to be giving him some extra pace coming towards the end of the race when the car is that little bit lighter, when there's definitely more pace in things. We'll give George the push, we'll give Alonso the push, just see what we can get going here. I'm going to start thinking about bringing George in because he will start seeing a performance drop. Let's drop that down to 1 speed, and I'm just sort of thinking now, is it time? Let's have a look at George. Let's see what he can do tyres wise. 19 remaining. I think he'll do it on a set of mediums. I think he'll make it on a set of mediums. Let's go into adding charge. Let's risk another quick pit stop. Hope he doesn't get screwed like he did last time. Fire off what's left of his ERS, and we're going to hope that what we've got here is an opportunity to get George onto a set of mediums, get him to the end on this strategy. Hopefully the tyres won't degrade to the point where he's in real difficulty getting to the end, but I think this might be the best strategy we can do with him. I think maybe Alonso is going to be okay to go into that set of softs. We had a good 1.6 stop again for George Russell. He's going to come out the pits, I guess, somewhere around 10th, 11th. 10th would be my guess, looking at the minimap. Seeing who's coming down the line. 11th, 12th. Oh, it's a long stop. It's a long stop in the pit lane. That's going to be fine, because he should come out strong. He's already taken 11th back, and now we can hit the ERS boost. But we'll switch back to Alonso, because Alonso is the one who actually does have a bit of a fight ahead of him. I think he can maybe catch up to Rahal. Let's see how these things shake out. Norris is going to have to pit ahead of Russell. Verstappen will as well. Leclerc will. So okay, we could be doing okay here. We could be doing okay. Alonso's got probably another 4 or 5 laps on these tyres, and then we really start to see what we can do with getting guys to the end. How we get these guys to the end, where we can get them in, where we can get them out. I'd like the guys behind us ideally to stop before we do. I'd like to see if we can get a jump on Rahal as well. That would be ideal. We've hit low fuel delta, which means we may have some push to give at the end, which cannot hurt us at all on this sort of longer run. Low fuel delta on George Russell as well, which is definitely going to help us. Let's see what we can do here. Let's get up into the into that kind of danger push zone. Let's get ourselves pushing. It is Alonso time, and he wants to pit for fresh tyres. I get that, I do, buddy, but I've got to play this a little bit cautiously, because it's very much going to be a case of getting you out where we can get you out. So where are we looking at lap time wise? I'm going to see roughly where we're at halfway around the lap, get some idea of what this tyre wear is like. If the tyre wear looks like it's going to go too far, I think we're going to have to bring Alonso in. Definitely an Alonso in now. Something's gone wrong with our front wing. 12 laps remaining. Okay. It's going to be a set of softs. Front wing. It's worth the change. That's worth the change, because we know we can make that time back up on a set of softs, as long as we don't have any problems with the pit stop. If we have problems with the pit stop, we're going to be in trouble. Let's go full attack on Alonso's tyres for this last lap. Really get him in as best we can. How long have we got left on Russell's tyres? Will they make it another 14? They will just, but I'm going to have to drop him out of push mode for a little while, just to hold on to the tyres, just to hold ourselves on to the end. When Alonso comes into the pit lane as well, I'm going to have to drop him down to the medium level, which means he is going to lose some temp in the tyres. It's sort of an unavoidable casualty of of this strategy, but I think as long as Rahal doesn't go onto a set of softs, we're probably going to be okay. Let's see what shakes out here with Alonso. Let's give Russell that big push. Get ourselves out there. It's been a mistake repairing the front wing. The one thing that didn't need the mistake to happen on. That's going to cost us big time. Big time. It's going to be a 13-14 second pit stop. Come on, buddy. Just get the front wing on. 15 seconds in the box. 12 seconds cost. Oh, that could be Alonso's race over. I tried. I really tried. You saw I tried. You all saw that I tried. Let's get Alonso out there. Comes out in 14th. He's going to struggle to make it back into the points. Like, he's really going to have to go big or go home today. But hopefully, I think I've got the hopefully I've got the parts, the condition there to get. If I need to give him a bigger push on the engine, I can do that. But we're going to have to hope he makes up some space, some places. He's back into the points. He's back into 10th. Okay, we can calm down. Bottas is going to have to pit again. He has pit again, but he's not going to come out in attack range for Russell. 4th is the best that George can do. Let's see if he can pull away a gap from Leclerc. He might well do. It's going to be very close. Let's keep an eye on things all over the track. All over the track, we've got things going on. I don't know where to look. I know Alonso's under attack, but I also know that that George is under attack. And give George that little boost because I can see he's under attack. Hope he can start pulling out that gap. Although the Leclerc is coming, Rahal is coming. They're both on better tyres. Not being on the softs at this stage is going to be a real problem for everybody. Got a problem with the gears, of course we do. I don't know what to do. George is going to lose a place here if I'm not careful. Let's give that boost very quickly. Hope we can make something out of this, but I think George is going to struggle to bring it home, and I need Alonso to be able to really turn things up now, because he's got places to make up. He's got a lot of time to make up. He would be just ahead of George as well, which is what's really disappointing. Is they would be able to wingman for each other. There's not a lot I can do to help George right now. That's the trouble, and he is really under pressure from Charles Leclerc, and I don't know what to do at this point. It's just going to be a case of hoping that George can hold on. I'm going to have to drop the tyres back down into neutral, otherwise I'm pretty sure they're not going to make it with 5 laps to go. Well, they might make it. We might be okay. We might be able to keep them in the operating window. I can definitely get some more push out of Fernando. How long's Fernando got on his tyres? 7 laps. Oh, it's going to be close. It'll be close, but I think we'll make it happen. Let's see if this push can do something. I think Alonso's out of the running now. It's all about Russell. Can George Russell get himself a 4th place finish? If he can hold on, if he can hold Charles Leclerc back, this would be exceptional for the young guy we've brought in. But he's let the place go. He's let the place go. We can push though on the engine. We can push on the engine now. We have that little bit of extra fuel, which is going to help us immensely. I just have to make sure we manage that absolutely right, because I know 1.1 is the lap on highest engine mode. I don't know where we're going to end up with that. That's going to be the big question. George has got worn tyres, and I need to step those back a little bit. Otherwise, he is definitely not making it to the end. Let's see what it says on his tyres. 4 laps remaining. Okay. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. Alonso might also struggle to make it on tyre wear. So we need to also keep an eye on that. I guess it's kind of push one or the other. Push one or the other is going to be the way forward here. Looks like Russell has managed to at least drop Rahal, but Leclerc has dropped us. He's on the softer tyres, so that's not unexpected. We just need someone to come through here and get what would be quite an epic result for us. As we head towards the last lap now, let's drop ourselves down onto regular. What's going on with Fernando? I'm not entirely clear. George needs to drop himself back into regular engine. I didn't tell it to switch to Alonso, as far as I'm aware. Though Alonso is coming up on a wounded Max Verstappen. That's going to be interesting. Can we push him up close enough to get that pass made? because if we can get that place off of Verstappen, we'll be fine. Danny Rick is going to start making inroads at George as well. Leclerc's tyres are going to start going off, but not before or about the same time that George's do. So I think there could be Moot up ahead of us. We're going to be really close. It's going to be so close, this finish. I don't really know where to watch. I think we should probably switch ourselves back to George because he is in that final stage of the lap. There is going to be a little bit to give here. I think Alonso can probably give a bit more of his tyres. Maybe that'll be what it takes to get him closer to Max. I don't know if we can get him close enough to attack Max, but we'll certainly have a go. As George comes round the last few corners now, there's what, 4 or 5 corners to go. It's looking like Vettel's taken a last second lead over Hamilton. He must have literally won that race on the line. That was so close. So it'll be interesting to see what the finishing time was on that. That was so close. But I literally noticed that switch, looked over at the mini map, and it was sort of gone. It was gone. So he must have made that pass on the line. Or on the final lap now. Okay, I've made a big mistake. I've made a little big mistake. Alright, let's drop Alonso into neutral tyres, for the love of God. We can go full push with George on the overtake mode. That should be okay. We need to go into medium with Alonso there. Really hoping now. It's just stress. Just stress this last lap. Come on, Alonso. Get yourself through. Get yourself through. Get yourself through. A 0.4 second victory for Seb Vettel today. Really good result for him. And I mean, Russell's nowhere. He's not going to get caught, so it is just going to be a case of can Alonso do something to Verstappen. I don't know if he can, you know. I really don't know if he can. I'd like to think I can get a little push out of him, but you know what, let's just go it. Let's just send it. We're just going to send it. Full send on the tyres. Full send. All the send, please. Let's see what we can make happen. It's not gonna happen. There has been enough saving of everything to get us to get Verstappen to the end. He's managed to save enough of his ERS. He's just having a big old push to the end now. He's just mocking us, really. Just mocking us. Let's drop back into medium and see what we can do. Anything, nothing. Nothing happened there. P9 for Alonso, P5 for George Russell is pretty acceptable. I'm not unhappy with that, as Seb Vettel pulls into the garage, which I guess is the Parc Ferme. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad for us. We've got ourselves some points. Get rid of that as quickly as possible, as always. Yeah, close. It was close, but we live to fight another day. We've got some good points. We are going to have fallen behind Ferrari in the chase for the top of the constructors, but that was to be expected. I thought maybe third or fourth was the best we could do this season, and I'm not being proven wrong, so that's you know, it's okay. It's okay. It's not the worst. We'll just have to keep living, keep fighting, keep moving on, and seeing where we come up with results in the future. Yeah, all in all, not too bad. I would say almost everyone did 2 stops. Bottas did 4 stops on softs. The sheer pace of the guy having 4 stops on softs. Scrutineering, anyone going to break any rules? Maybe give us a free place? Hopefully a Ferrari. No drama there. Okay, well, Ferrari have taken some good points today. Looking at the Drivers' Championships, Alonso is in 4th. Having picked up his 9th place today. I think he finished ahead of Danny Rick and Graham Rahal, so that will have made sense. Robert Kubica still holding position, and George Russell has got himself some good points, moved himself up into 12th. We've fallen to 3rd in the constructors behind Mercedes for sure now, but that's fine. We're only 5 rounds into the season. There's still plenty of time, so let's hope things stay on the level they're on. I think I'd be happy with 3rd. I'd be happy with 3rd in the constructors for sure, but we need to keep pushing on and keep pushing on. I'm very interested in the financial thing that I mentioned earlier. I'm very interested to see whether or not we do in fact lose 1 point something million, despite the sponsor bonus. I mean, did we get the sponsor bonus? I don't think we did because it was for first. But yeah, I'm just curious as to how the sponsor bonus works its way into the finances, or how the finances work out without it. In terms of things developing, I'm guessing we've hit full mechanic relationships with both drivers. Alonso has maxed out his relationship with Bono, or should have done. Everyone's fairly happy. That's good. That's good all round. We've lost 13,000. Okay, whatever. Whatevs. Right. So there's more confirmation of the results. We're still in the fights. We're still in both fights. But I think it's going to be a case of comeback for the next episode, and I can't even remember where the next episode is. So we might have to wait out the autosave to see where we end up. Hopefully we end up somewhere good. I genuinely can't remember what track comes next on this series. Got a weird feeling it's somewhere like Monaco. I think it's Monaco next. If it is Monaco, that could play to our advantage with our really good downforce. We'll have a look very quickly before we wrap things up, because that way you've got something to look forward to when we drop the next episode. It's Cape Town. Cape Town is the next race. Cape Town is a speed, deceleration and low speed corners track, which, as I recall, we are 8th in speed, 9th in deceleration and 9th in low speed corners, so it's looking like being an absolute classic. Right guys, until next time, do hit the like and subscribe buttons, because they help people see this and they help you see this too. And you can catch me on all social medias at every version of Chasing Lamely. But in the meantime, I am Chasing Lamely. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Have a good one.